Many years ago, in an African community, there lived a young girl named Nneoma. Nneoma was an 8-year-old primary school student. She lived with her parents in a modest home. They were not very wealthy, but they made ends meet. And the love for each other was evident in everything they did. Every morning, Nneoma would wake up early, get dressed, and head to the kitchen for breakfast. Her mother would pack her a small lunch and give her a few coins for snacks. But Nneoma had a secret. Instead of using the money for herself, she would divide it in half and donate it to the local orphanage, which was a short walk from her home. The orphanage was a small rundown building that housed about 24 children. Nneoma would visit them every day, bringing food and whatever little money she could spare. She loved listening to their stories and playing with them. The children adored her, and she became like a big sister to them. However, Nneoma's daily visit to the orphanage made her late for school. She would arrive at the school gate, out of breath and disheveled, just as the assembly was about to start. The teacher on duty would scold her, and a classmate would snake her and tease her. Despite the ridicule, Nneoma refused to give up on a daily routine. She knew that the children at the orphanage relied on her, and she couldn't bear the thought of letting them down. As the days turned into weeks, Nneoma's tardiness became a regular occurrence. Her teachers would often call her out in front of the old school assembly, scolding her for a lack of punctuality. Her classmates would laugh and call her names, and Nneoma would hang her head down in shame. But Nneoma's parents were oblivious to their daughter's daily struggles. They thought she was just being lazy and irresponsible. They would also scold her and punish her, unaware of the sacrifices she was making for the children at the orphanage. One day, the school principal announced that the school would be holding a special assembly to honor the student who had made significant contribution to the community. Nneoma's teachers were shocked when they found out that she had been secretly visiting the orphanage every day, donating food and money to the children. On the day of the assembly, Nneoma's parents were invited to attend. They were shocked and proud when they saw their daughter being honored for her selfless acts. The principal presented Nneoma with a special award, and her classmates applauded her, their faces filled with admiration and regret. As Nneoma walked up to the stage to receive her award, she saw the children from the orphanage sitting in the front row, beaming with pride. She smiled at them, and they smiled back, their eyes shining with gratitude. Nneoma's parents were overcome with emotion as they realized what their daughter had been doing all along. They hugged her tightly, tears streaming down their faces. "We are so proud of you, Nneoma," a mother whispered. "We had no idea you were doing all of this. You are such an amazing young girl." From that day on, Nneoma was no longer the laughingstock of the school. Instead, she was revered as a hero and a role model. Her classmates looked up to her, and her teachers praised her for her selflessness. Nneoma continued to visit the orphanage every day, but now she had the support and admiration of her school and community. She had proved to everyone that even the smallest acts of kindness can make a big difference in the lives of others. As for Nneoma's parents, they learned a valuable lesson about not judging the child without knowing the full story. They apologized to Nneoma for not being more supportive and promised to be more understanding in the future. Nneoma's story spread like wildfire, inspiring others to follow in her footsteps. She became a symbol of hope and kindness, reminding everyone that even the smallest person can make a big impact. And that's the incredible story of Nneoma. A young girl who showed us all that kindness and compassion can come in the smallest yet most powerful packages. After the assembly, where Nneoma was honored for her selfless acts, her life changed dramatically. She became a celebrity of sorts in her community and school. People would stop her on the street to congratulate her and praise her for her kindness. But Nneoma didn't let all the attention get to her head. She remained humble and continued to visit the orphanage every day. She even started a charity organization, which she called Helping Hands. She would collect used items and clothing from her community and sell them to raise money for the orphanage. As Nneoma graduated from primary education and entered secondary school, she faced new challenges. Her schoolwork became more demanding, and she had to balance her studies with her charity work. But she was determined to succeed at all costs. Tragedy struck when Nneoma was in her 5th year of secondary school. Her parents were involved in a fatal car accident, leaving her alone and without a means to support herself. The orphanage, which had become like a second home to her, took her in. Despite her difficult circumstances, Nneoma refused to give up. She continued to run a charity organization, and her dedication and hard work caught the attention of everyone around her. Every morning, after eating breakfast at the orphanage, Nneoma would set out to visit homes in the community, collecting used clothes, shoes, and food items. She would then bring these items back to the orphanage, where they would be sold at the market to raise more money to take care of the orphans. Nneoma's selflessness and kindness did not go unnoticed. One day, a wealthy couple, Mr. and Mrs. Okoro, visited the orphanage with the intention of adopting a child. While they were there, they noticed Nneoma's tireless efforts to collect donations and care for the children at the orphanage. They were deeply moved by her story and decided to help her fund the remainder of her secondary education all through the university. With the Okoro's support, Nneoma was able to attend university and study social work. She continued to run a charity organization and even expanded its reach to other communities. Nneoma's story inspired many people, and she became a role model for young people everywhere. She proves that with determination and hard work, anyone can make a difference in the world. Years later, Nneoma graduated from university with honors. She was proud of what she had accomplished, and she knew that she owed it all to the Okoro family, who had believed in her and supported her every step of the way. Nneoma's next step was to establish a permanent home for a charity organization. She wanted to create a place where she could provide shelter, food, and education to orphaned and vulnerable children. With the help of the Okoros and other donors, Nneoma was able to build a beautiful home for a charity organization. She named it Nneoma's Heaven and dedicated it to providing care and support to those who needed it the most. Nneoma's story came full circle as she stood in front of Nneoma's Heaven, surrounded by the children she had helped over the years. She knew that she had made a difference in the world, and she was grateful for the opportunity to continue doing so. As Nneoma looked out at the children, she knew that she had found her true calling. She was no longer just a young girl who had been recognized for her kindness. She was a leader, a change maker, and a force for good in the world. And so, dear viewers, we have come to the end of Nneoma's remarkable story. From a young girl with a heart full of kindness to a force of hope for countless lives, Nneoma's journey reminds us that resilience and selflessness can light up even the darkest parts. What has been your biggest takeaway from this inspiring story? Share your thoughts in the comments. I would love to hear from you. If you've enjoyed this story, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't, and click the notification bell so you never miss more captivating tales on this channel. And please, share this video link with your friends and loved ones to spread their inspiration. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep spreading kindness.